So for today's video, I thought we would go ahead and feature some Aggro Warrior, simply because I had recently done some Conscription decks on the channel, and I know they're not everyone's favorite. This is one of the decks that is largely considered to be a counter to that deck because of its aggressiveness and because of the presence of Withered Hand Cultist. So we're going to take it for a spin, and hopefully that'll offset both the Conscription decks I've played in the past and the one that will likely pop up here in the near future, because I did get a request to try some of the other classes / houses for Conscription. So there's going to at least be a Daggeth video, because there is a list I'm kind of having fun playing for that. So we're going to go ahead and just dive right into a couple of games here on Warrior. See how it does. I'm not yet Legend. We're about halfway through the month right now. I was traveling for work at the beginning of the month, and I don't know if you can tell in my voice right now, but I've been sick for basically like a week. I'm not convinced it's the same illness. I actually think that I had like a pretty rough cold, and then I picked up the flu after it, but it just feels like everything's been running straight away together. So alright, looks like we are in what might be a Warrior Mirror. I think we're going to throw this back, just because getting it for free off of a prophecy feels pretty good. And honestly, I wanted a 3-drop there. And or a catapult. Both of those would have felt pretty good. So if they don't have a turn 1 play, we're probably going to lead with Windkeep. And the reason for that is because if they play a catapult, we want to try to answer the catapult with the assassin, just to get it out of the way. So a lot of times if this goes here, they will run to the shadow, like they did. Though I'm actually rather tempted to leave... Oh, maybe not. So I was going to say I'm rather tempted to leave that there, just develop this here, and we could use Earthbone on that next turn. But now that we've top decked the Gatekeeper, there's almost no disadvantage to just trying to slow him down while giving my ward creature 4 attack. Because the 4/2 ward is pretty good. Meet your death. Well, they're thinking about trying to contest that.
This should be good.
Alright, so this looks like it's just straight orcs. When you see those 2 orcs, I think it's safe to say this is orcs. Let's do this, make sure we don't run into any prophecies, and we're going to go ahead and hope...
I slay the unworthy.
Hope that this survives, but there is a strong chance that this does not. I would expect to see a stone shard here.
I fight with the fervor of the wild hunt.
Well, they really didn't like that 4/2 ward, huh? Okay.
Should have been more worthy.
Okay, I actually think I really like just doing this here, because that means he's going to have to invest additional resources to contest that. So now they have to decide, do they want to deal with this or this? And if they try to deal with both... Okay. Still need 1 more damage here. Could be Orc Clan Captain. Fair enough. Skaven was not a card I was expecting to see out of a Orc Warrior, but...
Do you not fear me, mortal? You should.
They've already played 1 of their silences, so we can hope they don't have too many more, because we have double sower. Should be enough to carry us here. But we shall see. They're already playing some non-traditional cards like Skaven. I wonder if this is included as anti-aggro tech. Like, it's an interesting deck when you're running Skavens in conjunction with Gravestones. just because they're not the sort of things you want to have to play on curve into each other. And for what appears to be an Orc Warrior deck,
Make it good.
feels a little off.
You get one shot. Make it good.
Interesting, interesting.
You will perish in.
Oh, there's so many things I want to do here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make him try to invest more resources there while hiding these in the shadow. Because if they don't have a silence for this, this will deal 5, and then they have to have an answer here as well. If they don't have answers, or even if the answers are guards, we could hopefully top deck a 2-drop and play Sower in the 2-drop to activate Catapult. Like, we have a lot of options by taking this path. Playing the second Sower there is also a potential option.
Cower in fear or face my wrath.
That's a really good. It's a really good sign for us. They need prophecy help, and they did not get it. So we should be all set to take home a victory, and they realize that is the case. So yeah, feels pretty good. And we're gonna go ahead and queue into another game. And hopefully it is as successful as that one was. Oof. Oof. And instead we get Trader Joe, who, if you're not familiar, is one of the best players in the game. Actually, I think we're going to leave that. Because it's not like he's going to give us prophecies anyway. And it looks like he's on his control tribunal list, which is kind of interesting because the last time I was talking to him about control tribunal specifically, he had told me that he had no desire to play it again anytime in the near future. And yet, here he is, making me look like a liar.
The longer the odds.
Should have been more
Alright, that's a great spot for that to land, because even if he nukes this, we can play that and it'll cycle itself.
At the ready. Time to die.
But we're not off to a great start here. With no early Withered Hand Cultists, this could be quite the issue for us.
Do you not fear me,
Let's go ahead with that.
You should.
I mean, we're obviously worried about cast into time, but there's nothing you can do, like, but play into it, so. It's a good play by Joe. I like the silencer out here. Normally I don't like using my silences so soon. Whoops, I almost didn't do it. But being able to trigger that feels pretty good. Now he does get a full clear with an ice storm out of it, but this might have baited it out. If he doesn't have an ice storm, this has the potential to be a strong turn for us. And he found the cast. Alright, well, that's not good for us then.
to oblivion with you.
Let me kill.
Guess we'll go this route. It's not looking great. We gotta find ways to generate more pressure than what we're getting. Especially against such a great player.
No further.
Joe takes the value trade. It's not exactly a shock to me. Morgul Gatekeeper would be a decent top deck for us, just so that we could use that Wood Orc Headhunter. It would make me feel a whole lot better. But my wish is denied, like usual. I mean, I don't feel great about this. Well, boo. I didn't really want that to land there.
Die.
So the reason that I didn't want this to land here is obviously he gets to take the easy trade. Assuming he just doesn't have Dawn's Wrath or something, but...
Careful there, friend.
Go no further!
The hiss shall heal you.
Alright. All solid plays from my boyo, Trader Joe. That prophecy hurts my face. It's got to be a harpy if he's thinking about putting it over there. Yeah. I can't escape Ice Storm being a full clear either way, but part of me does like the idea of running that over, though I feel like I'm going to need like every bit of damage here, so...
They will pay the blood price! By the first forge!
I think we just push them all the way to 4 and then pray. It's not looking great though. The fact that he did hit the cast into time on our sower. Again, not that you can play around that really effectively, but it is problematic. It was a very good start for Joe.
Go no further!
Face me, dog.
I have to assume that's going to be... Oh, alright. I was expecting a firebolt, but that works equally as well. Alright, so Wood Orc Headhunter off the top. Go! 'Twas not the case. And you will definitely have an answer for that, but...
You will die in flames!
Alright.
Go no further! On your guard, Mongrel Pop!
Rightfully trying to pressure to set up a lethal here.
Keep your distance.
I mean, essentially, we have to take that out. We know that the Earthbone's just going to die. He has, like, let's be honest, he likely either has Arch Cannon or a Lightning Bolt in hand. So we're just
Blood and
We're just
honor.
dead anyway.
Go no further!
Like, they gain health here.
This way.
And, alright, at 7, it's a Dark Harvester.
Fight for the glory
Alright.
of Lost Almeris.
To get back the Lightning Bolt. So we're still going to end up losing. It was a great game by Joe. Honestly, I really think that the cast into time was the difference maker. If that was like a Javelin instead, the extra damage would have been enough to push. If we had a silence here, we might have been able to push enough as well. But sadly, it is a good game,
A hard-fought victory.
so we will concede to Joe. And yeah, that's kind of what happens when you don't draw Withered Hand Cultist in that matchup. It just kind of runs you over. So anyway, it's been a while since I played Warrior. Thought I would give it a go. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I didn't. Ow, Joe. My pride. My pride. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.